that should include everyone here. Very good evening to you. Welcome to Danny's sixth solo. I love the interaction between these two gentlemen just now. Reminds me a bit about like Wang Sai and Ye Feng. Dennis is 65 years this year, 65 years old this year, 53 years in framing. So yeah, so he started
very young.
quick math. He started at 12 years old, right? Which is I think something that we are looking to promote nowadays: apprenticeship instead of going through a general education. Imagine you start at 12. By the time your peers graduate from a university at 23, 4, 5, you're already 12 years ahead of everyone in the trade that you choose. Right? And I love the interaction between these two because they are competitors. But like you heard him say, right? They did not. They in fact help each other, right? And but also perhaps because Dennis is more or less retired from his framing business. I think all of you, or many of you, would know that Dennis was a very important spoke in the whole art ecosystem. Right, the intermediary between the primary producer and the consumer. He was not only a framer, he transport art as well, he did installation as well, and that all informed the art that he's doing, the series that he's doing, showing us today. WinSon is Penang is a weird gallery. It's the only gallery that I know that does this. I've been invited to speak here and officiate openings here a few times. Every time in the blind. But I was willing to do it because I know the artists, I know their work. But this time he very kindly let me have a sneak preview of Danny's work.
A few pieces.
Only a few pieces. Only a few
Not
pieces.
all.
Not all. Because he said he wanted to be fair. Everyone here see it for the first time. You have a fair shot at getting the artwork when you see them unveiled. But I think seeing those few pieces were important for me. This is the sixth solo. The first 5 solo, this is the first time he's using a brush. Right? So the first 5 series were abstract landscape work, and all of them were made using pouring technique. Right? Very pleasant work. But you know, with pouring technique, it is relying on very much on accidental effect. There's control, but relatively much less control than when you use a brush. Right. So, and I'm glad that this time they picked up the brush and present us a very cohesive series. And I think his own professional background as a framer, transporter, installer, tells us why he named it Space and Dimension. And later when you see the artwork, it also tells you why the title Space and Dimension is so apt. This time he is very involved with form, with textures, with perspective, with depth, but it is not really a real life or a still life art that you see. And I think that's because how he has been involved with handling art all this decade, almost half a century of already half a century of dealing with art. He would be very familiar with how art works when he framed them, when he moved them, when he installed them, interacts with the surrounding, right? How perspective can shift, how dimensions can transform with framing, with placement, right? And when you showed me one of the photos, I think it was taken outdoor. It was like on the street, right? and then I don't know. I don't think WinSon did it intentionally. But again, I thought, hey, that really is interesting because of what he has always been doing, transporting, moving artwork, right? He found himself by the street, and that add to that perspective, that space interaction, right, between the artwork and its surrounding. And I think that is depicted in this series of artwork. So I am very glad that he's got the mark of a good artist, willing to change. Right? He's done 5 series of splash technique that people collected, enjoyed, liked, but he did not rest on that laurel. He decided to do something different. He challenged himself, including having figurative work, right? Figurative work in this painting. So I look forward to unveiling the paintings and see what you're going to present us. Let's look forward to that. I think that much I will say about his work, and thank you for having me here, opening the show, and it is with great pleasure that I declare this show open.